The topic of culture is really a tricky subject because for many years, decades, even centuries, many Christians, especially in the Western world, have confused culturally determined expressions of the Christian faith with the faith itself. We have exported, so to speak, church steeples or church pews or organ music or even worse, a specific kind of Western linear thinking to the end of the earth, and we're so much convinced that we are involved in Christian missions. I'm very happy that we are in the process of overcoming this sort of cultural imperialism. The NCD paradigm seeks to integrate insights of all cultures, of the West, of the East, and of the South. But we don't do this in order to make each culture happy. That's not our goal, but in order to transform that cultures. You know, the Western and the Eastern elements of the NCD paradigm are especially relevant for the South. The Southern and the Western insights are especially relevant for whom? For the Eastern people. And for people in the Western world, we have to focus especially on those elements of the NCD paradigm where the Eastern and the Southern part of the world is already strong. There are quite a number of aspects in the NCD paradigm that are foreign, strange to the Western world. Westerners tend to linear thinking, input, output, cause and effect, from A to B, from Bill to Gates. And there are many aspects of reality that you can wonderfully explain by applying this linear logic. We constantly do it, for instance, in our research, and that's wonderful. But you cannot explain all of reality by applying this linear logic. It must be accompanied by circular, cyclical ways of reasoning, and these are areas that we can learn, for instance, from the Eastern and from the southern parts of the world. So when I do a conference, an NCD conference in the East, for instance, I especially focus on those features where the Eastern world isn't strong yet. If I do a seminar in a Western country, this seminar is far more Eastern or Southern than people would expect it, because these are the very features that this Western society needs most. Why should I travel thousands of miles just to tell a given culture those features where it is already strong? And it wouldn't make any sense. I have to focus on those aspects that they need to learn. These are usually the less popular elements. I know this well, but I don't travel in order to get popular, but in order to help a church, maybe a whole country, to leave their comfort zone, to move into areas where they are not strong yet, in order to bring more balance to their whole society. When we, for instance, in our NCD tools implemented the aspect or the principle of Ubuntu, that we could learn from the southern hemisphere, especially from Africa. Ubuntu, it's a specific kind of group loyalty, of solidarity that is basically foreign to the Western world. Some people thought that we did it in order to make Africans happy, but that's not true. I mean, when I'm in Africa, I don't have to speak about Ubuntu. They are already strong in that area. But if I'm in a Western country, I have to focus on Ubuntu very much, because that is what we need if we don't want to see our societies exploding. And in some countries, we already see this explosion processes if we do not strive to learn from other cultures and integrate these insights into our own fabric. I'm not interested in simply adapting Christianity to a certain culture and then being happy that so many people respond positively by basically remaining what they had been before. I want to see change, both on the individual level and then as a result in the society as a whole.